This is Tarte Tropézienne with soft, delicious brioche and crunchy sugar on top and amazing cream inside. Let's make it. First, let's start with the pastry cream. Heat the milk, add the vanilla beans and let them infuse properly. In a separate bowl, mix together the brown sugar, salt and cornstarch. Mix everything really well. This pastry cream is intentionally a bit thicker than some others. I wanted it that way because later we'll add butter and it will work much better. Add the egg yolks and mix everything together into this beautiful shiny yellow consistency. Once the vanilla has infused into the milk, remove the vanilla pods. I absolutely love this little trick with tweezers where you squeeze the pot and get all those beautiful little vanilla black seeds back into the milk. Now it's time to bring the milk back to boil and slowly pour it into the eggs. The goal here is to balance the temperature between the eggs and the milk so the eggs don't cook instantly and turn into scrambled eggs, but instead become a fantastic cream. So little by little, add the hot milk to the mixture of sugar, starch, salt and egg yolks. Once everything is mixed together, return it to the pot and on a low heat while stirring continuously, cook a beautiful, thick cream. Here you can already see how it looks. Once you think it's ready and it has this consistency, turn off the heat and transfer the cream into a bowl where we'll blend it. Put all the cream into a bowl and prepare your immersion blender. While using the blender, try not to blend air into the cream, so keep the blender under the surface and create a beautiful smooth texture, just like this. Now it's time to cover it with plastic wrap directly touching the surface, so there isn't even a tiny pocket of air left and no skin forms. Now leave the cream to rest. Let's move on to the brioche. Brioche is an essential part of Tarte Tropézienne. I'm using a mixture of flour here, part stronger flour and part regular flour. Then sugar and salt on one side and yeast on the other side. Now we'll add the eggs. I have a mixture of yolks and whole eggs, which goes in all at once. We already took the butter out because we need it to warm up to around 18 degrees Celsius so it gets the right consistency. Place the dough into the mixer and start kneading on low speed. Let it work slowly until it becomes smooth, shiny and elastic. Here you can see the consistency before adding the butter. So now it's time to stop the mixer. Look at it when I stretch it. It's beautifully elastic and flexible. I also take a plastic scraper and clean the dough from all sides because no mixer is perfect, not even this one. So sometimes you need to help it a little. Now add all the butter at once. Here you can see the consistency of the butter. It presses easily, but it's not releasing fat yet. Like I said, around 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. Add it all at once, put the dough hoop back, place it into the mixer, and start again on low speed. Let all the butter incorporate slowly and only at the end increase to second speed for a short time. Take it onto the work surface because I like finishing yeasted doughs by hand. Here you see the technique where I fold and roll the dough, turning it 90 degrees each time. I smooth it a few times like this and the dough becomes stronger, smoother and even shinier. You can see here how beautifully it rolls. I'm happy with the result. It's not sticky and it's a friendly little dough now, so into a container it goes and straight into the fridge overnight. Cold fermentation is a slow fermentation. Here you can already see it on the next day after taking it out. The advantage is that slow fermentation develops much more flavor and aroma, making the dough much better. I press it gently and fold the edges into the center. Now I create a nice round shape which increases the tension, pushes out the excess air and prepares it for the second proof. Because I'm using a pastry ring to create nice straight edges for the cake, I gently roll the dough out with a rolling pin. If you feel resistance, just let it rest for a moment. Roll it gently without pressing too hard until you get the size of your ring. Now, when you've finished, place it onto a baking paper. I'm using a perforated tray and placed the buttered ring around it. Leave the dough to proof somewhere warm, and meanwhile prepare the syrup we'll use later to soak our Tarte Tropézienne. Brown sugar, a little water, and zest from one lime. I really love this peeler because it doesn't make tiny pieces. It makes long strips of zest, almost like a little spaghetti. They release beautiful aroma and stay visible in the syrup, and later when you eat it, you can even bite into them and get an extra flavor experience. After the lime zest, it's time for a vanilla bean. Not just the seeds. I was too lazy here to grab a cutting board, so I'm doing it in my hand with my thumb. Add both the seeds and the pot itself. Once everything goes into the syrup, finish it with a good shot of quality rum. Don't skip that part. Use whatever rum you enjoy. If you want, you could use even whiskey or bourbon. Now it's time to bring the syrup to a boil. Simmer it briefly, just until the sugar dissolves, and then let it rest. Meanwhile, all the flavor from the vanilla and lime will continue infusing. The dough has finished proofing, so whisk one whole egg and brush the brioche completely with it. I use whole eggs, not only yolks. When it's covered nicely, take coarse barrel sugar and generously sprinkle it over the top. Look how beautifully it has risen. Now it goes into the oven. And this is the result after baking. It's just monumental, beautiful, soft, light, and airy. Remove it from the ring, let it cool, cut it in half, and soak it generously with the syrup so it can absorb all the flavors. Meanwhile, prepare the butter for the cream. Again, around 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. Here you can see the texture. Take our pastry cream, place it into the mixer and whip it first. Right now we only want it to soften and become smooth. So give it few stirs to combine completely. Once it looks like this, add all the butter at once. Again, soft but not releasing fat. Return it to the mixer and start whipping. You know it's ready when it becomes completely smooth and changes to a lighter color. That means it has incorporated air and become light and fluffy. I pipe this cream around the edges. I chose this piping tip. Those of you who follow me already know it, and if not, check my video about pastry tips and get inspired by different decorations. I just liked this one. Now, to the remaining cream, I add whipped cream and combine them together. This gives the cake two different cream textures. Around the edges, the cream will be richer and slightly denser, and in the center, it becomes this beautiful light cream that melts immediately on your tongue. Look at this beautiful texture. All of the cream goes into the middle and I smooth it gently. You can see that the brioche has absorbed all the syrup already, so all that amazing flavor is now inside that soft yellow dough. Place the top layer back on and press gently. The best thing is to enjoy it right away, so there's only one thing left to do. Cut yourself a big slice of Tarte Tropézienne and enjoy it. Try this recipe and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy and see you. Bye.